So let's talk about the hack segment a little bit briefly, which is like, what's the closest thing right now to a hack that you've seen inside Meta? So you change this, it's like, and it is a dramatic shift. What are like one to two things that you're adjusting that you're like, man, that's really an unlock?
I mean, I like hacks, but like I don't think like hacks are just a nice addition. Like having a proper exclusion, having not reliance on existing buyers, no view conversions, like knowing when to scale, knowing how much to scale, that matters the most. And although I'm a media buyer, like product, offer, funnel, creative, they have way bigger impact than the media buying. I can make results when like client is spending like everything else is dialed in, then the media buying again makes a difference. But at lower level, probably like focus on the offer. Like I seen tremendous changes in the hit rates just by changing the offer. So that's definitely one thing outside of the ad account. Also remember, everything else outside of the ad account has a tremendous impact on the ad account. In terms of the ad account, I still pick all of my thumbnails manually, and like I just kind of like, it felt like I got a recognition when Facebook confirmed that different thumbnail actually means different entity ID, because like I did not know why, but like I like for 4 or 5 years, when back in the day when I worked with Udi, I realized that a different thumbnail can impact the performance of the same video in a different way. So still, me and all of my media buyers and my junior media buyers, everybody are picking thumbnails manually. I think it has a positive impact. Although I must say Facebook is getting better and picking that automatic thumbnail compared to, let's say, a year before.
Yeah, it's funny. You basically don't like hacks, and I agree. Like we put it in there intentionally because it kind of like pushes you to say like pick have an opinion about hacks,
Yeah.
and it's hilarious because like you probably feel like you're repeating yourself pretty often in maybe the content that you make, and you
Yeah.
still get people that are like they don't have exclusions. They're not using
Yeah.
seven.
Yeah.
It's like
Exactly.
you still see a million people who are just doing crazy shit and wondering why nothing's working. And sometimes it's just like those simple things ends up being the hack for
Yeah.
them because they weren't doing it in the first place. Um, yeah. So no, that's funny. One thing that I'll throw in one little hacky thing, just as something that continues to work for us is just like customers that are uploading images as reviews, just taking them as is and uploading it as an ad gets you creative volume, gets you creative diversity. They're probably super blurry, and that's the point. Like it just works really well, and we just keep doing that on repeat.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that, there's like something like usually I found that for most problem solving product, images do mostly retargeting. We use the top of the funnel, while like on clothing, jewelry, images actually do the prospecting. So we found that like I could not, like there's one client, like we're spending 50K a day, like 99% of my ads are videos. I could not get images to work. And then we just replicated, it's a beauty client. We just replicated, it felt like a story. It was like a text, organic text overlay, like what you would put on a story, and it was just an image. And like those ads are getting, I would say like 50% of delivery on story and reels, and they feel organic. And this is something that we finally managed to break out with images and got some traction. Again, again, think because it looks organic.
It's so interesting. I've been literally in the last, I mean, I've been thinking about it for longer than this, but like in the last 2 weeks, I've had this like weird obsession with like formats, where like you can communicate the same message in a bunch of different ways, but also the type of content that somebody's consuming. To your point, like stories and reels is different. Like that. Zach's a great example of this. Like they have compression socks for Hollow,
Yeah,
and there's probably 80-year-old dudes that are buying it and 30-year-old nurses, and
exactly.
the type of content that they're consuming is very different. It's
Different.
like they expect a different format. And so maybe it's the same, it ends up being the same message, which your legs are going to hurt less or whatever it is. But how you communicate it and just even the style of creative can unlock different pockets of audience. Um, so I like that. That's a good one. Nice. And those are easy to make too. Like those, you
Yeah,
just
exactly. They're
grab a
super
still
easy.
and slap a question
Yeah,
and answer on it.
exactly.
Nice.
So how are you using AI, by the way? Like, and by the way, if you haven't checked out the new Foxhole podcast, releasing or will be released by the time this comes out, AI D2C WTF, which is a new podcast I started up to talk about all this stuff even more deeply. But how are you using AI now? Is it with reporting or creating different variations, or is it both all of that stuff? And if so, like what are you doing?
Yeah. So I'm not on the level that Will is. Like when I see his conversation, Will, that was on some of your podcasts, and like when I see the presentation that he did in Lisbon, I was like, okay, wow, like I would never be able to do that. I did actually follow his template and I managed to get close, but I'm personally nowhere near that. What I like to do it is like for research, for like synthesizing the data. For example, I gave it my whole YouTube video for my whole YouTube channel, and like I told it to create my media buying philosophy. It created like 50 pages document, and then I uploaded that to Claude. And now like, whenever there's a question, I can get an answer from that, or like I can get a new script for YouTube based on my whole knowledge. That's one thing. The other thing is in terms of the ads, I gave it my top five spending ads, and then I gave it one of my template of a listicle page that we are running, and I told it to change the reasons based on the angles from the ads. And that landing page is currently like that listicle is outperforming our current listicle, by 10% of click rate, and like it's getting nice traction in Norbeam as well. So that would be one like practical example of me using AI. Besides that, like when you're doing media buying, there's not much you can do compared to when you're a copywriter or developer or creative strategist. So it's just like mostly trying to kind of like improve my workflow and save some time either on analysis or on the reporting or synthesizing the data.
I might be leaking something here. What do you use for creative reporting?